So UFC 256 happened over the weekend, and Tony Ferguson fought Charles Oliveira in a pretty crazy fight, if I don't say so myself. Oliveira won on a decision, winning all 3 rounds, 30-26 on the judges' scorecards. And to be fair to Oliveira, in a lot of people's eyes, that fight could have been 10-8 for all of the rounds. Oliveira dominated Tony Ferguson for 99% of the fight on the stand-up, on the ground. In the start of the fight, towards the end of the first round, Oliveira pretty much got Ferguson in a disgusting armbar that most other people would have tapped off to, with Ferguson's arm being fully hyperextended and pretty much up to the point where, if it went any further, it could have been broken. But the tenacity of Ferguson drove him through that and allowed him not to tap. But from that, it was clear to see that Ferguson wasn't his former self of the Boogeyman that people previously saw him of in the past. And Oliveira really took it to him and showed that he is a fighter who is looking to be in the title contention. Looking at Ferguson, I mean, in my opinion, I do feel that it was way too short of a come around to take this fight. While he did fight Gaethje in May, the damage that he took was ridiculously extensive. I mean, he took a lot of damage. He was pretty much a standing knocked out fighter. And speaking to someone last week about it, I did think that he did come back too soon. Just for my opinion, I felt that when fighters get damaged like the way he done, or they have serious knockouts, I think the time between a layoff should be somewhere between 8 to 12 months in terms of just allowing the brain to recover and allowing yourself to be in a full healthy mindset to get back in the ring, of course without heavy sparring in between those rounds. But Ferguson did not see that as himself. He's not really a conservative fighter in that sort of way. He's a pretty abstract guy, so it wasn't surprising that he would have taken a fight on quite a short layoff. But you could see in the fight how quickly he got dominated and how, I wouldn't say he was a bit timid, but he wasn't really taking the shots that he could have taken. I mean, compared to Oliveira, he landed 19 strikes to Oliveira's 41. Oliveira landed 3 of 3 takedowns. Oliveira had 3 sub attempts, and he had 11 minutes of ground control time in the whole fight. So I mean, Oliveira really took it to Ferguson and really showed him that, I guess, he's a bit on the downturn as a fighter, I guess. I mean, it's been a long time for Ferguson, him pretty much being the number one guy throughout the lightweight divisions for the last 5 years. While either Conor was champion or while Khabib was champion, he was the guy that was always lurking in the corner, whether it was when he won the interim championship against Kevin Lee, or when the multiple times he was scheduled to face Khabib and for whatever reason it didn't go through. So I mean, it's a bit sad to see him come through, but in a fight like Charles Oliveira, he's a guy who is ridiculously game. I mean, he's on an 8-fight win streak, beating the likes of Clay Guida, David Tamer, Nick Lenz, Jared Gordon, Kevin Lee, and now Tony Ferguson, with him having the last 7 fights all be finishes, along with the fact that he has the most submission wins in UFC history. I mean, this guy is a really scary guy. He's someone who has taken the lightweight division of storm as an underdog that a lot of people didn't really see coming, mainly looking at the likes of McGregor, Ferguson, Lee, Gaethje, and even Chandler, who recently joined the UFC as the main guys for title contenders. But Do Bronx coming back up from featherweight really seems like the guy who could be the scariest one out of all of them, especially with his ability. He isn't no slouch on the stand-up game, so it's not like someone like people claim to say that Khabib isn't a great stand-up fighter, but Do Bronx is just as capable as Khabib is, and maybe a little bit more in the stand-up. And on the ground game, while he doesn't have the sort of ground and pound that Khabib has, his submission skills are ridiculously amazing and ridiculously scary. So for me, in my opinion, I do feel that after the McGregor and Poirier fight in January, the winner of that should face Charles Oliveira for the title come sometime next spring/summer.